To a sensitive story for many of you, I am sure. Madeleine McCann, 16 years ago. I cannot believe it was that long. But anyway, of course, we all know the story by now. And another search is about to commence, this time for a reservoir in Portugal. It was about 30-odd miles from where she went missing. It's imagined that British police will be involved in this search. Jo Phillips, this is quite a sensitive topic for some people because, of course, it's a little girl and, you know, gosh, if that was your child, you'd want everything to continue.
Yes.
But when it comes to taxpayer resources, police time, cash, etc., should there be a limit or not?
Well, who's going to set that limit? I mean, the problem is, and you're absolutely right, it is, if it was any of our children, we would do anything possible to try and find out what had happened to them. But yes, 16 years on, £13 million, and still no nearer to finding out what happened to that little girl. I mean, she would have been 20 this year. The little twins, her brother and sister, are 18. You know, you can't even begin to imagine what the family has been through with false hope, false leads. And, of course, you know, I think we can all agree there was probably some bungling at the beginning, which lost valuable time and lost valuable leads. But Madeleine McCann is not the only child that's gone missing. There are tens of thousands of children who go missing every year, who don't have the same media profile, who don't somehow capture the public's imagination and the desire for a happy ending. And I don't think we're putting the same resources into finding them.
Alan?
I think that on that last point, that's the thing. I mean, not only are there people that have gone missing very tragically, we also saw the story of the 13-month-old who very tragically died in Portugal, the same place, because of sepsis and not being able to get to things quickly enough, and the problems of a different country and what that means, and the way Interpol, the different European police states work together or don't, all of those things. And in our own country, where people are getting burglarised or they're getting attacked, the police can't seem to come. They do come sometimes when people put a post on social media. It does seem to me as well that you know, there have been many things that have not had this high profile. If we look at how mainly white working class girls, maybe they were the wrong type of people, were not discussed in terms of the grooming gangs, the attacks on them in Rotherham and many other cities around the UK. Where were the police resources in addressing that? There are still many people who are not being held accountable for that. So I think that in that context, yeah, it's we need to the police need to address the key things that they've got to be focusing on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be very direct on this. I've got a little boy who is not too far off the age that Madeleine McCann was when she went missing. Just for the record, I wouldn't choose to leave my child somewhere while I went out to socialise with my friends somewhere else. But not saying anyone deserved that to happen, but I do sometimes think, you know, there are thousands of children that go missing. I found the name of a little boy, I'd never really even heard of him, Daniel Entwistle. He was 7. He went missing Great Yarmouth 20 years ago. They found a bike and nothing else. I've never even barely heard that little boy's name, and I do wonder whether or not there's a class element to some of this, because I was at a caravan park in Skegness the other day. If someone left their child in the caravan while they went to the clubhouse socialising, and something terrible happened, would that get the same response, the same investment and all the rest of it? And as a mum, you would never give up. And I accept and understand that, but perhaps when it comes to taxpayers' money, maybe there should be a limit.
But somebody's got to make that decision.